Hey man, I do what I do.
Now, I'm trying to help these folk. I told you I was gonna stay out of it, didn't I? But I don't want to see bloodshed in the streets because that goes against my nature as a black man. We don't want to see that. We like Mexicans. Somebody type, we love Mexicans. We like Mexicans in the chat room. We like the Mexican people. Mexican people are fun. You understand me? We like Mexicans. I don't want to see you get hurt, but you need to let the educated elite amongst you guide you so you don't get out there and these young folk and these folk write a check that they butts can't keep because they can turn it up. You understand? Now, I want to be clear. I've always had great relationships with the Hispanic community. I have friends I grew up with who are Mexican, El Salvadorian, Honduran, and I understand the struggles that many of you face. I understand the desire to build a better life for yourself and your families. I get that. I understand. The desire to build is what you should have. But here's the thing. You know, the way you're going about it with these protests is going to get a lot of people hurt. All right. There can be no violence. Violence does not earn sympathy. It breeds hostility. And when police officers are harmed, when property is destroyed, and when the streets descend in chaos, you don't win over the American public. You turn them against you, and the average American is already frustrated with illegal immigration. And when they see protests, their response is not going to be compassion, it's going to be outrage. And the American people will say, you already broke the immigration law. And now you're showing that you don't respect our legal system at all. And the narrative will not help your cause. It's going to destroy it. Have I given, is there a lie in anything I'm saying? Have I lied in anywhere? Okay. I hadn't lied. Now, the crazy thing is, we're not the only ones that know our history. I want you to if you don't think, you think the black folk are the only one to get brutalized, listen to this little Asian lady.
To come to this country, which they had stolen and forced black people to build, because were asked by white men to come to this country, which they had stolen and forced black people to build, because they were hoping that my ancestors would be the new cheap and disposable labor to undercut the recently freed black people that lazy white.
So basically, black folk, once we got free, white folks like, man, we still ain't trying to do this work. We need to get some more colored folk over here to do this work. So they said, well, let's just get the Chinese. There's plenty of them. And so they brought the Chinese over here. Okay.
The recently freed black people that lazy white men didn't want to pay. And when my ancestors wouldn't do that, they were lynched and massacred. Their towns were destroyed. They were blown up while building the railroads. And ultimately they were excluded.
Did y'all know that there was a bunch of little Chinatowns around the country? They burnt them up too and destroyed them. Same way they did Red Summer Night. They burnt our little town. I mean, y'all know y'all learning something. Shout out to Go-Go. Thank you. I know you're learning something. So white folk, this is what they do. Where all the white dudes at the internet? Where y'all at? Where all the white men at? This is what you do. This is your history. This is your history. Take your talking to. Just take your talking to. This you're gonna have to take it. This is what you did. This is what your ancestors did. You wonder why you're so far ahead? Is because every time another race, another group of people gets close, you go over there and you start kicking over their sandcastles. That's what you did. This is what you do. Okay? This is what you do. You've been doing it for centuries. So yeah, they did the same. They did the same. Invited the Chinese over here, just like they brought us black folk over here, made us work. Then when we fought to get free, we built our own little towns, and then they got jealous of that and then kicked them over. Then burned them down. That's what white folk did. They doggone it. Y'all something else. Same thing they did to the Chinese people. Hey, we need some more brown people to come over here and take the place of these N-words, because these N-words and got free. What are we going to do? Bring the Chinese. Then they brought them over here. When they start building their own towns and doing well for themselves, the white man said, oh, no, we can't have that. Went over there and burnt that stuff up. Look at that, man. Isn't that something?
excluded from society and the country for nearly 60 years.
Listen,
Then when the
I'm gonna let you listen to this
were
again.
asked by white men to come to this country, which they had stolen and forced black people to build, because they were hoping that my ancestors would be the new cheap and disposable labor to undercut the recently freed black people that lazy white men did.
They used to treat the Chinese people like dogs. You understand me? Where all my model where all my model minorities at? They used to treat the model minority like dogs, man. And you all want to run up there next to them folk and be adjacent. You think that they for 1 minute, you think they think you equal or something like that? Come on, man. You need to love yourself.
Didn't want to pay. And when my ancestors wouldn't do that, they were lynched and massacred. Their towns were destroyed. They were blown up while building the railroads, and ultimately
Lynched and massacred. I thought black folk was the only one that had to deal with that. Are you serious? Woo, keep listening.
they were excluded from society and the country for nearly 60 years. Then when the United States asked us to come back in the 1960s because they wanted
So they brought them over here, ran them off, and then asked them to come back again. Why?
to put us in the way of black people again,
Or put us in the way of who?
is because they wanted to put us in the way of black people again, and the United States needed to rehabilitate its reputation with the Asian countries that were gaining in economic and political power. We had civil rights because of black people.
We had what? Because of who? Listen, I couldn't, maybe let me hear that again.
With Asian countries that were gaining in economic and political power, we had civil rights because of black people.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You understand that? Shout out to people who keep it real. Again, look, we love the Mexican people. All right. But again, you know, you got to be smart. Okay. You never hear of any Asians doing any uprisings or any violent protests. Black folk didn't do it. The ones that did do it got eliminated. And if you want to fight for your rights, you got to do it the smart way. You got to get organized. You got to understand the law. You have to use your top legal minds. You got to start respecting education and invite the educated group. See, let me tell you something about black folk. It looked like we disjointed, doesn't it? Look like all we do is fight each other on the internet. That's what it looks like. But at the end of the day, this is just how we are. We're African people. We loud, we're boisterous. We talk a lot of stuff, but you see the babies keep coming, don't you? That should tell you a lot. So even a black man could be the most gangster dude in the room, right? And I'm a whole lawyer out here, and he and I can sit up and chop it up, man. And he could have just got out of prison for 30 years, and I've been practicing law for 25, and we could chop it up as brothers, and we can come together. You see, because we don't ostracize each other because of education level. We embrace the educated group. We keep in line. We make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. But at this point, you need your top legal minds and your most educated professionals in the legal community, in the Latino community. You need your talented 10th to create a movement that is rooted in strategy, intelligence, and discipline. Because the truth is, right now, your community is at a disadvantage. Okay. The Latino community has the highest high school dropout rate in the country. And without education, there's no elevation. And you may have the numbers, you could be 20% of the population. But you always will be subjected to the will of those who have money and education and political power. And the numbers alone that's not going to win any battles. Strategy wins battles.
Watch your back, even family that's amongst you. Got a slut ass auntie and a cool ass uncle. Kinda won't front you, but let you ride the whip around the block like you stunts. Don't do a lot of bumping. When your mama call when her ex-man jumping, all you see is feet and her ex-man stumping. That's my Uncle D, that's why the Blizzard King coming. Hot girl winter, Blizzard King summer. My we's a coming. No singing and no humming, talking we shall overcome it. Got him leaking, I'm the plumber. My nigga made Zoom look cool, yeah, you funny. What else Uncle D gotta prove more money? Overlook the tunes, if gotta shun him. Brotherhood over any woman. Cause if she play a role, then she fam, then she good. When we say brother, my sister, we mean the hood. Now homie, pop the trunk, it's been reeking just like a skunk. We can serve your knowledge, addition, just